Sauce.
Hey, you like Pez?
It looks like that. Here's Heaney from the boundary line. He's an expert at these. From the boundary line!
Hello and welcome to Behind the Boundary podcast. I'm your host Pez. I'm here with Sauce and he's very, very disappointed. We've just recorded the whole show, Sauce, the hour of content. I performed amazingly and we get to the end and it didn't record.
Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties there, Pez, which is not unheard of for the pod. We've done it before, and even seasoned veterans like ourselves have stinkers, just like some of the AFL players.
You can blame me because I didn't stuff up once and recorded all the way through and got to the end and you didn't even plug it into your computer, mate.
Yeah, normally we take 3 or 4 goes at it. We record, we go back, we edit it, but we had an absolute blinder of a show, Pez. We had an A-grade performance. We went all the way through.
Can I just let you know, best show ever.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on there, and if you're hearing this and you believe us and you trust us with your bets, then trust us with this, Pez. It was an absolute blinder, 5-star review straight off the bat for the show that will never be aired, and we had some amazing content.
Yeah, I can't even remember. Like usually after a show, I like to sit down, wind down a little bit, and forget about what I said, and then we're good to go. But to try and redo it like that wouldn't serve it justice, Sauce. So condense it up a bit now, I reckon.
We're going on the fly, Pez. There's an insight for the listeners. This is a podcast exclusive for the fans of Behind the Boundary because you're getting the post show. Normally, we just give you the actual show, and you're getting the Pez and Sauce's insight into the post show. So, what an exclusive, and what a benefit for the fans.
Oh, Sauce is going.
I've got to try and salvage it, Pez, because the error was my fault, and I will take the ownership for it, Pez. I guess I'm trying to distract everyone from your horrible round of betting, and that's what I've tried to do. So I've taken one for the team, Pez.
Oh, well, we did speak about some huge games last week. We had Melbourne proving themselves and Port Adelaide really, really being disappointing, Sauce. We had St Kilda keeping their race for the finals alive, and Brisbane, a small blemish on their radar, but not too concerning there. You had Gold Coast winning, and I'm going to repeat myself from before. No one else is going to hear it anyway. The coldest game of footy ever. Yeah, the people down in Ballarat, if you are in Ballarat, you must be freezing all the time because all the people there shivering in their Kathmandu jackets, scarves, beanies, gloves, whatever it was. They might not play down there. We did the show. We did all our bets for this week, and now we find out there's massive things going on in Melbourne. Yeah. So all the teams may be being relocated as well. So more up-to-date information is a positive.
Exactly right, Pez. At 11:21 on a Wednesday night, we've got some exclusive content. We've got getting it to you first that there's a big chance that Victoria goes into lockdown. So whilst you've made fun of those regional fans in Ballarat who are a little bit chilly, Pez, they might be the safest place to be playing because it is going to probably be a lockdown for metropolitan Melbourne after the COVID cases coming back from Queensland.
Yeah, but rumours going around that things might be relocated, which is not good. Massive win for Sydney to really push them up in that premiership race against the Bulldogs, who really need to come out and prove something a little bit more. And they can, with their run home, they can finish on top of the ladder and come finals time, see what they can do. And then you had Richmond with a massive loss against Collingwood, Sauce. It was no good at all. Lost by 16 points. They were up by 20 points at three-quarter time, and their season is in turmoil, sitting 12th on the ladder.
Yeah, getting deja vu just talking about the Richmond loss, Pez, but Richmond fans are probably having deja vu for the last 3 weeks. A horror last 3 weeks, and a third-quarter, fourth-quarter collapse from the Tigers, really putting that dynasty that we've been mentioning all year long in RIP Richmond.
Yeah, we did a bit of a segment before, Sauce. It was called Season Over. It was a really good segment, and trust me, it was the content was unbelievable. It might not match it now, but here's Season Over.
Season over.
Could say podcast over because it's past my bedtime.
I was thinking my podcasting career is over. So Sauce is one of those people that the season could be over, but no, Pez, I am going to bounce back like some of the teams that we did speak about earlier, Pez, but we can't keep it going on the past because we need to give the content to the fans.
Let's
what
try
we've done
and recreate
here,
this year.
Let's really try and do it. And there's no surprises, Pez, because I've already heard exactly where everyone's finishing. So
the surprise factor from hearing each other's predictions is not there. But we headed to squiggle.com.au, a little ladder predictor there.
Oh, great website.
And we're just going to go through the top 8 at the moment, Sauce, the ladder pretty much, and then go through what we predicted. Now, it's really difficult to do this because you've got to tip every game, and we know not many people get 9 tips every week, so you're not going to be right at the end of the season, but it's just for a bit of fun and a bit of banter to see what happens. So if you disagree with us or you agree, jump onto Squiggle, do your letter predictor at Behind the Bound, send it in, post it to us, and we'll see who is the closest by the end of the season.
Yeah, really good sort of thing to be doing with your mates and to jump on social media and put your money where your mouth is, Pez. But we look at the top 8 currently. Melbourne sitting top, Doggies second. The Cats, Brisbane line out the top 4, and then Port Adelaide, Sydney, Fremantle, West Coast round out the edge of the 8. And teams on the outer that their season is still alive and not yet deemed dead, like our podcasting career. St Kilda, GWS, Essendon, which for all viewers and Essendon fans, Pez did write off. I'm really interested to hear if they're still written off. Richmond and Carlton sort of round out the teams that are still hopeful to make the 8.
Oh, you can't put Carlton in there.
Oh, I was trying to just get some new content.
I'm
I'm feeling pretty blue, mate. So
I've written off North, Hawthorn, Adelaide, Collingwood, like everyone else would have. I've written off Gold Coast and Carlton. I've also written off Essendon, who are on the same points and better percentage than Richmond, but not writing off the Tigers just yet.
Not just yet, Pez. Interested to see how you go with your team on top, because when we went through it last time, you claimed that you hit a different button and you might have accidentally done an error. So interested to see if you've made a change. I have Melbourne finishing equal points on top.
When have I made a change, mate? I walked off post-show to do my usual routine.
Well, this is post-show. This is post-show.
I've come back. We don't sit by a microphone on post-show with the headphones on.
No, it's a little bit unfamiliar territory for us both. But
if I get a bit grumpy during this little podcast here...
if you get grumpy, you're already giving me some dirty looks there. Am I plugged in? I'm not sure.
Don't do that to me. I should be asleep here. But we've got the top 8, so we went through that before. And on our My Letter Predictor source, I've got the Doggies finishing on top.
Yeah, it's interesting. The top 2 teams, I think, are going to be Melbourne and Geelong, but you've got the Doggies in there with a really soft run. They play the Suns, Crows, the D's is probably their biggest challenge, the Bombers and the Hawks. So you'd expect probably 4 wins from them, and that should salute them on top.
Yeah, so Doggies there. I got the Cats second. I got Brisbane third, and I've got Melbourne fourth. And you went through Melbourne's run source, and I think I might have clicked the wrong button. What do they got?
They got the Hawks and the Suns for the next 2 weeks. Wins. And then they've got some maybe the next 2 weeks after that, they play the Doggies at home, which is going to be a game in probably MCG. They play the Eagles away, and that's probably where you might have still holding on to the Eagles there, and that's maybe where you dropped them.
I don't know what happened, but...
and finish with the Crows at home.
Are we the same top 4, like the same 4 teams?
We do. We've got Melbourne, Geelong, Western Bulldogs, and Brisbane are my top 4, and they're the locks. I think for most players, most teams, most coaches, that's your top 4. The order can be debated, and depends, as you said, whose run is more favourable.
Yeah, unless
the teams that get up.
Unless Port Adelaide pull off a ridiculous run where they actually
start beating teams.
They actually start beating teams that they're meant to. That they're not meant to. I've got Port Adelaide finishing 5th, with Sydney finishing 6th, and the top 6 looking like it will stay the same.
Yeah, I've gone the same sort of boat there, Pez. I've got Sydney ahead of Port Adelaide, finishing on 16 wins, and Port Adelaide, as I said, rounding off the 6 with 15 wins. Sydney have got probably one of the harder rounds. They play the GWS Giants, they play Fremantle, Essendon, St Kilda. So 4 of those teams are really fighting for a top 8 spot, and then they finish off with North.
Yeah, and they're fighting for a bottom 2 spot there, so that should be interesting. We head off to 7 and 8 at the moment. We've got Fremantle and West Coast both on 32 points. And Western Australian listeners who we know, there's a lot of them out there, Source, that listen to this podcast. They're going to be quite disappointed to know that I've put Fremantle and West Coast out of the 8.
Yeah, and I follow the exact same suit, Pez. West Coast, after their really piss-poor performance, to be honest, against Sydney as well as North Melbourne. I've got them finishing pretty far down and at actually 10th, so dropping from 8th to 10th, 2 spots. And they're lucky earlier in the year that they've had some wins banked there, because that's the only reason that's keeping them in the 8 at the moment.
Yeah, I've got them at 10th down there as well. So I've actually, for some reason, got Richmond in there on 11 wins, which is strange to think that a side would make the 8 on 11 wins. I don't know if there's, pre-bias, you're underrating teams and things like that. But Richmond finishing 7th and Saints finishing 8th. And I was really tough on their run home on my letter predictor, making them lose to Port Adelaide this week, which some people think they may beat.
Yeah, if they lose to Port Adelaide this week, their hopes are still alive, because they've got the West Coast, as we said, not in great form. Carlton, Sydney and Geelong. And they've probably got the toughest run home. And I've got them finishing 7th. I think they get wins against Port Adelaide. I think they get wins against Carlton and West Coast, and probably lose the 2 against Geelong and Sydney there. So that'll round out their 8. And I got them finishing 7th.
Yeah. So and then who's your 8?
My 8th team,
So I've got
I've
Richmond.
still got GWS in there. I'm sort of backing home from what I had at the predictions at the start of the year, Pez. I think they hold on with that sneaky little draw, but they'd be kicking themselves because losses against Gold Coast and a draw against North Melbourne, there's 6 points that have gone missing for them, and they could already had that sort of pretty much tied up.
How's the question there? Usually we're always questions without notice, and that question was, I already knew the answer because we already recorded it before, and it just felt weird.
It did feel a bit weird, mate. I'm not looking forward to anything coming forward because it's all known entity pairs. Mix it up a little bit. Come on, go a little bit spicy. Let's look at the ladder predictor.
We've already looked at the ladder predictor, mate. We've got our top 8 there, and we'll both be wrong. And that's the thing about it.
You are in a really grumpy mood now, Pez. I know it is past your bedtime, but the fans is tuning in. They're getting in this at their regular time on a Thursday morning, Pez. So we need to make sure we deliver. Jump on predictor.squiggle.com.au. Screenshot your ladder prediction, screenshot the wins that you think they're going to get, and let us know why Pez and I are going to be wrong. And as you did at the start of the year,
or you might agree, but jump on board. Let's have a look at that, and we'll see who's closest at the end of the year. Which one of the fans gets up and about their source? Now, I've already done all these segments before, so what one are we going in?
Let's go with our bet review because we need to keep ourselves accountable. Despite already doing this and despite us already celebrating a great round of footy, we do need to do it again. So deja vu for bet review.
Soft review. It's no official review. How does it end? We don't know. They've kind of lost, but they've won as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we can go through every single bet there, Source. There was a live bet there. You won your cheeky, which was a big highlight of the round, which saved it a bit, which was good. Your Rory Lobb and your Hawthorn theory.
It's in good stead, and the punters are going to be upset, Pez, because I've found a break in the system here. Hawthorn, if they are playing, jump on the forwards to kick 4 or more goals. They've done it back-to-back weeks, which
forwards
is
against them. Don't make them jump on the Hawthorn forwards.
Colin Jasny, not Colin Jasny. He's the Geelong spud that plays down defence.
Jasny,
it's late, Pez.
You're still thinking about him.
Let's
talk about the round on Twitter. You would have noticed I've got a volcano because I am crumbling. Down to plus 2.27% for the year. You're still sitting there on the beach at plus 8.37. Source, you happy with your emoji?
No, not happy with the emoji, Pez, because last week, a couple of weeks ago, when you were actually in the green and up at the 10% mark, you had a little builder there.
Yep.
And with the eruption that's going on I'm a little bit worried about the builders, and maybe that's why that they are sort of staying away a little bit because they want to make sure they're guaranteed money.
You had a losing round. It was a slight loss, okay? You had a losing round. You're not building anything with a losing round. So if you want a builder, have a winning round, and we'll get some Gyprock in there.
Well, from the island that I can actually see them coming across. So the end of next round.
Can you see the magma?
No, I can't. I can see you hiding over there, shitting yourself, basically, because that's the one thing. I think you've just done the volcano there for the Ballarat fans and the
I needed to warm up still after watching that game. Well, we said there was going to be another Mars game this week, but I don't know if there will be one down in Ballarat now with the lockdown. AFL might say, let's get out to everyone and everywhere. So
yeah, they might be doing exactly what you're doing, Perry.
I'm about to fall asleep.
running for cover from the volcano, but it's an interesting round that does sort of precede us because we don't know what is happening. We're unsure about the lockdown. There has been a whole range of cases there. We're not sure about what's happening with the bets going forward, and that's one of the reasons we're a little bit tentative to also release our bet slip there, Bez, because obviously, if all the betting agencies have the venue is changed, then the bet is void. So a little bit tentative to release that bet slip.
I already put the work in, mate, and the bet slip's there ready to go. So we'll release that. But we may not have the time to talk about it, Source. But I'm plus 2.27% for the year. You're plus 8.37%. And hopefully get to our goal of 10%. I'm in struggle street where I'm in uncharted territory at the moment. We're being this low percentage at the end of the year. So finishing positive in the 4 seasons that we've done this, both of us, Source. So we want to keep that trend alive. So we want to both have a few winning rounds coming up.
Yeah, I want to continue the form I've had, Pez. I was sitting about minus 10%. You were sitting up 30%. Continue the winning rounds before this, Pez. I'm sitting at plus 8.37% for the season, which is really good. I've staked $2,890 for the year, returned $3,132.04. But not a great round for the last one, Pez. It was a losing round, only minus 4%, but still a losing round.
Yeah, there you go. There's our little bet review, Source. We We don't really have anything going forward. We do have our bet slip, so we'll press the bet slip button.
The fact that the size of the bets was relatively small.
Our bets with an opportunity about 50 metres out.
I was with a mate and we were getting sort of ready to leave, and he said, I think I'm going to whack 10 on Maxi. Do you want some as well? And I said,
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
Now, Sauce, I know why you cracked the shits before, because I made Sauce in the previous show read the odds from Tab, and he was scrolling through pages and pages.
7 different apps I'd open.
You want to do that again?
No, I don't.
I don't want to do that again.
So, but we did choose to go with Tab because they do have the best specials of the round. Isn't that correct?
The best specials, yeah. I don't even know if you're going to press that button.
Yeah, I like to press the
Press
buttons.
the button.
Cyril takes a special and goes bang.
Yeah, you said I was under the pump before, didn't you, with the specials? But Sportsbet, they're on the Origin. They're not worried about the AFL at the moment, so no specials from them. Tab have the most same-game multi-specials, so Thursday, Friday, and the Sunday game, Collingwood versus Carlton. They've also got the 3+ head-to-head multi, where you get your bonus bet back from that. You got Lads and Neds with the $2 Thursday and Friday lines, and Ned's also the 3+ league same game multi on a Thursday, Friday night, Source. So because we recorded this before, we went into a lot of detail before, Source. We may not have the time at the moment, so we'll go through the game, and then we'll go through our bet. We'll say our bets, we'll release our bet slip, and then we'll probably have to change it when Melbourne goes into lockdown.
Yeah, we might have to do that, Pez. And for a little bit of adversity never hurt anyone, and hopefully we can push through. And a little bit of adversity in terms of the recording isn't going to reflect in those bet slip, Pez, because I've already heard your bet slip, and I don't mind it. So just give you a little Sauce tick of approval there, Pez.
Here we go. That's the one tick I don't want.
All right, speaking of ticks, let's get into it. I'm going to read off Sportsbet, Pez, just to keep it, just because I'm worried about time. So Fremantle taking on Geelong. Fremantle's currently standing the outsiders at 2.15. Geelong the favourites at $1.70. The line is -5.5, and the over/under is 148.5.
Yeah, I've gone with Ned's for Thursday, Friday night as well. We get the same game multi business Source. I've got Geelong to win, Tom Stewart to get 20+, and Geelong at the alternate handicap of +38.5. And that's just in there for a little bit of insurance, Source. I'll put the max 50 on it, and I want to start the round off strong.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Pez. I've jumped on the maximum bet straight up on my Cats at $1.80. I think that is absolute value. And money for VBs, Pez. That's the second time I've said it, so it's money for 2 slabs of VB.
I haven't seen till message.
I have been a little bit conservative there, and I've actually been winning, so that's probably not a good sign for me.
You haven't put any money for VBs.
No, I haven't
down
money
lately.
for VBs.
So he'll be happy. He'll be happy that you've done that. That's good. Next game, Richmond versus Brisbane.
Next game is an absolute classic in the rewalt's 300. The Tigers are $2.67 outsiders, Brisbane at $1.48 favourites. The line is -13.5. The over-under is 147.5.
Yeah, I feel like I've said this before, but I don't like the betting on either side here or the lines. So I'm going to go in the disposal market here. Lockie Neal to get 25+. He's really good value to get high disposals because he hasn't been doing it this year, Source. Hugh McCluggage to get 20+, and Jaden Short to get 20+. I like the value on all of those players, and I've gone a little bit out there with Lockie Neal and 25+, but $2.24, that gets me $25 on that. I'll just be watching 3 players on the Friday night.
Yeah, well, I'll be watching 2 players there, and Lockie Neal is one of them, Pairs. I've got him at 20 disposals after his big game and return to some form last week. I think Rewalt in front of the sticks will get 2 or more goals. He's had the yips coming up to his 700. He knocked that out of the park last week, so he can put that in. And I actually like the line, Pairs. Brisbane Lions on Neds, -13.5 gets me $2 to contribute to my same game multi. That gives me odds of $4.76, and I've whacked 25 on it.
Yeah, I wasn't listening because I listened before.
Oh, the interest levels are down from Pez, but the interest levels will be high for the people of Ballarat if the game is actually played there, because Great Western Sydney take on Sydney. The Battle of the Bridge, Pez. And I'm not going to go through that joke again because you didn't like it last time. So $2.63 is the outsiders of the Giants. $1.49 are the favourites with the Swans. The line is -11.5. The over-under is 139.5.
I reckon you come into your own when you have to do a re-record.
Yeah, I've heard all the shit jokes I've said. Well, I'm up and about because you know what, Pez?
You sat there and reviewed it in that 10 minutes in between, and you were like, yeah, that was shit, that was shit, that was shit. I won't go with it again, but hopefully this bet isn't shit. But hopefully if it's not played there, I'll have to put it on again, won't I? And we'll have to see the odds. But Giants versus Sydney, I've got Sydney halftime, full-time double. So they have to lead at halftime, have to win the game at $1.80, $25 on it.
I like that one, Pez, and hopefully the game is played in Ballarat there, because it is basically a 2-quarter game of football with the win. I'm hoping the Swans get the win straight out of the gates. I've got them race to 15 on Neds with the alternate handicap plus 17.5, and the under 139.5. So very low, but I think that wind really limits the scoring opportunities. $25, odds of $3.29.
You know, I thought about it before, and I thought I didn't like that bet. And I still agree with myself. But,
yeah, I'm wanting to see if any of your bets go missing after we said that's a shit bet. But everything's still the same there, Pez. But the odds for this one has changed. I remember last time when we were reading off tab that Gold Coast were $4 even. But Sportsbet have them $4.10 outsiders against the Doggies, $1.24. The line is minus 25.5. The over-under is 150.5 pairs. And I like Sportsbet because they've just got the $1.88s all the way through. Tab have a range of different alternatives.
Range of different numbers, which no one will ever know because it's not recorded. But this is one we disagreed on from memory source.
Yes,
I've got the Doggies minus 24.5, make the max 50 on it. I like them to bounce back and Gold Coast to be a bit too warm in the sun after being in Ballarat. They'll still be a bit cold, mate.
Still going with that joke. They got crickets last time, Bez, and yep, still crickets now. I've gone with, as I said, I don't fully disagree with you there. I think that the Doggies do get the job done, but I've gone with the alternate line, plus 37.5.
You dragged me out of bed.
I haven't dragged you out of bed. You were still out of bed. You're already in your pajamas there, Pez. Pipe down, listen to this great bet. It's David Swallow to get 15, David Swallow to get 20, partnered up with the alternate line of 37.5. $2.10.
For insurance?
$25. I've just put it in there. It's a 2-leg gap multi, really.
You said that for insurance last time, but there's no insurance on that game yet, so you're hoping for that. Melbourne versus Hawthorn.
Yeah, $1.08 favourites are the D's, the lowest margin of the line. The lowest head-to-head price, as well as the highest line, as you would expect. Hawthorn have already reached out to $8, so dropped 50 cents in since we recorded the show last. As I said, 40.5 is the line, and the over/under is 150.5.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. You're not touching that one, Pez.
You already know that.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's a little bit of a thing, and I guess you know where I'm going then.
Cheeky!
As mentioned before, Pez, I am going cheeky with this. I think I've worked out the Hawthorn hack, as I'm going to be calling it.
Wouldn't this be a good coin toss if you give it to me again?
Yeah. Who do you think I'm going to go with in terms of the person to kick 4 goals, Pez?
Who's the options?
The options are Ben Brown and Bailey Fritsch.
Oh, well, I got it right last time and I said Bailey Fritsch, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, I've put $10 on my cheeky as usual. Oliver to get 25, Christian Salem, your man, to get 20 or more, and Bailey Fritsch to kick 4 or more goals. Gets me odds of $7.20 pairs, and that is going to be a nice little return.
This is harder to do for the second time.
It's so hard to do the second time.
Like St Kilda versus Port Adelaide, you got the game of the round coming up.
You do. You said that last time and didn't get any laughs then, so you're 0 for 2 for jokes. Well, there has to be a joke, Pez, because you corrected yourself after the game of the round with the North Melbourne Essendon one.
Stop giving away everything that's coming up.
All the show secrets are coming out. St Kilda are the outsiders at $2.01. Port Adelaide not being able to win from outside of Victoria or against the top 8 side, have them at a favourite somehow at $1.83, minus 2.5, and the over-under is 149.5.
Yeah, I've got a cheeky. Which colour is it? Is it that blue or that blue? They're both blue. That's not that cheeky. You pointed to the wrong one. I can't see the board. You know that. What was that? That's nice. We've got a 6-leg multi here for my cheeky. I'm going to have to...
Cheeky!
I've got St Kilda, pick your own line, minus 4.5. I've got Jack Sinclair to get 15 plus disposals, having a great season. Dan Houston, who's gone up a bit in price, 15 plus disposals, because he hasn't been getting it every single week, but I like him to get that. Carl Amon with Butters injured again, 20 plus disposals, him to be their playmaker in the centre of the ground there going forward. Brad Crouch to get 25, so get you a bit more value up at the 25 mark. For 20, he's still good as well, but 25 with Ryder and Marshall hitting it down his throat. Source of I remembered everything I said. And 2+ goals. Dan Butler has been out of form, Source, so I'm looking for him to stand up and give us something and get 2+ goals there. Cheeky $12.
Cheeky $12. I don't know why I'm surprised. It's the second time I've heard it. I don't like that bet, Pez. As I said last time, I've gone the Saints just on the nose, $25, $2 almost flat even, is it? It's $2.01. I think that is great value. So a nice little return to double up that one, Pez.
Yeah, and as I corrected myself last time, this is the actual game of the round, North Melbourne versus Essendon.
Oh, what a surprise that was. North Melbourne, the outsiders at 3.18. The Essendon Bombers $1.36 favourites. The line is 18.5, just over 3 goals, and the over-under is 157.5, Pez.
Is it?
Yeah,
I already knew it.
That's correct. Actually, you didn't because I went with Tab last time. So you should be a little bit surprised, Pez. You should be a little bit up and about. You're getting new information.
No bet.
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one too, Pez. A very interesting game. And as I said last time, Pez, I don't like betting on North Melbourne because you just don't know what team's going to rock up.
But their line is quite low, as you said, yeah.
It is really low for the way that they've been playing. Collingwood take on Carlton at the MCG, maybe, potentially. Could be somewhere else, Pez. We have no idea where this game will be played. But $1.96 are the outsiders in Collingwood. Carlton is $1.88 favourites. The line is -1.5. The over-under is 148.5.
Yeah, you didn't like this one, but I've got my bonus bet. I've picked my own line. Carlton alternate handicap. Carlton -17.5. Have to win by 18 or more points there. So I'm hoping that the Blues can get it done pretty comfortably.
What odds did you get that at?
I didn't say that, did I? $2.90.
Wow, that's really good odds considering the different game. Never mind. So even with the second round at Pez, still stuff up. I've gone with any other result in this one, as we've sort of alluded to in previous shows, and the missing show that no one will ever hear, which was an absolute cracker. Collingwood do sort of come back in that last quarter, and Carlton show some unpredictability. I've gone any other result in the wire-to-wire market, $2.25 on that one.
Yeah, no good because Carlton from the start should come out and get that. The next game, Adelaide West Coast. I've got no interest in this game. I've got West Coast in my multi-source, but no bet for me.
Yeah, no bet for me in this one, but we will go through the odds. The Crows are outsiders at $2.14. The West Coast Eagles are $1.71 favourites, -6.5, which is a really low line. If you think the Eagles can bounce back after a disappointing week last week, the over/under is 153.5. Pez. No bet for you, no bet for me. I will look to put a live bet on Pez, and we might have to do that for every game because we have no idea what's going. Let's get on to our multis.
I'm trying to see what the late night movie is that I usually put on after the podcast recording. I can't.
Stay with us, Pez. Stay with us, Pez.
No, I've got my one with Tab, the head-to-head special this week. So I've got the Doggies to beat the Suns, Carlton to beat Collingwood, and West Coast to beat Adelaide, which is a toss-up. But you've got $1.68 for West Coast. If they can actually pull their finger out and do something, decent odds there. So $3.82. I've put 25 on it. With that bonus.
I've gone 3-leg multi with Tab, Geelong, Sydney and Melbourne to get it done. 25 on that one, $2.90. 1 leg fails, I do get my money back.
All right, you beauty.
Yeah,
Done.
Almost done, Pez. We've just got our coin toss because we need to keep the accountability there, and I am kicking your ass in that one.
Just on behalf of...
I'm having an absolute stinker, mate. I'm having an absolute stinker.
Press the right button this time.
There you go.
It was a toss of the coin.
Same button, different screen.
Yeah.
Wins the toss.
Technical difficulties galore.
Yes, it's been an unusual year for
It's been an unusual show.
Big time again.
Tell you what, Pez, if you thought coin toss was meant to be a fast segment, this will be absolute Usain Bolt because there's no chance you're staying awake more than 5 minutes. So I'll pump it out really quickly.
All right, go.
Geelong versus Fremantle, -5.5.
Geelong.
Cats. I've gone the same. Richmond, Brisbane, 13.5.
Brisbane
for me too. Sydney versus Great Western Sydney, -11.5.
Sydney.
I'm going with Sydney as well. Gold Coast take on the Bulldogs, -25.5.
Dogs.
I'm going with the Dogs as well. Melbourne take on Hawthorn, -40.5.
Now, we will have to slow it down here because last time I was reading them out. Source, who'd you go?
I went Melbourne.
And me being 6 points down overall, I have to go Hawthorn.
Yep, cool. But I already know that nothing else changes, Pez. So it's your chance to catch up. We've got St Kilda taking on Port Adelaide, -2.5 in favour of the Power.
Yeah, both on the Saints.
We are both on the Saints. North Melbourne playing Essendon, -18.5.
Both on the Bombers.
Collingwood, Carlton, -1.5 in favour of the Blues.
Both on the Blues. And this line is a bit weird, isn't it, last one?
It is. The Crows and the West Coast Eagles, the line is -6.5 in favour of the Eagles.
Yeah, we're both on the West Coast, and that will shut it up. Do you want to give me the coin toss that you gave me last time as well?
I was talking about the Olympics there, Pez, and I have gone a bit of a think about it. The Olympics coming up is an absolute cracker to watch unusual sports, and my one for you, I already know the answer to this one, so Pez, I'm going to go a little bit different. Diving or the badminton?
I love the badminton. I do love the badminton. I can't believe how they hit that little shuttlecock. It's a bit weird how they hit the shuttlecock.
Hitting
isn't
the
it?
old Mason Cox, hey?
Yeah, there you go. But Olympics, I hope they don't stuff up the telecast source because not couple, because it's every 4 years. I think it was London.
8 years ago, yeah.
London, whenever Channel 7 had it, whenever Channel 7 didn't have it, it was amazing. It was on Foxtel. You could watch whole events all day. When Channel 7 had it, they chopped and changed and went everywhere. So hopefully they got their streaming a little bit better so you can actually choose what you want to watch and not just jump to wherever there's an Aussie or wherever it's a whatever. I don't know.
I really like watching the Olympics for the best athletes in the world. Pez, question without notice only because I just want to keep you away a little bit longer there.
Yep.
Top 3 sports to watch during the Olympics.
Oh.
It is question without notice. I know the weightlifting's in there.
Weightlifting's number 1.
Love the weightlifting.
I love the beach volleyball, the 2-on-2. Beach volleyball is a really good one. And that's probably not in the top, is it? No, I do like watching the gymnastics, especially the bars. You know, the 2 parallel bars?
Yeah.
And they just chop and change in there. And I'm like, how in the world do people do that? So I consider my top 3. Fencing was on the fence.
Yeah, well done. There are some unusual sports that have been added this year as well. You've got the BMX racing and the freestyle. You've got the skateboarding in there. You've got the rugby sevens, Pez. We didn't mention the rugby sevens. They're in my top 3 sports to watch.
They are.
They are amazing to watch.
Those tournaments are really good.
Yep. You got the FIBA 3-on-3, the basketball, and that's about it, Pez.
Who's in the FIBA 3-on-3? So if it's USA, it's countries, yeah? Do they choose 3 players or?
I think I assume that FIBA have their own sort of tournament, and they generally go with their own preferred athletes of it because they've got their own leagues now established. It's an amazing game. It's a quick sport. It's a really different variation of basketball. Like once it goes through the actual hoop, they don't take the ball out. So as soon as the other team touches it, the ball is live, and they've got to go past the 3-point line.
Oh, is it related in terms of the players that play for, say, Nigeria can play 3-on-3 for them as well?
I don't know. I would assume not because I don't know if you've ever played it before, Pez. It is a massive adjustment, and it's a really sort of an ISO ball, but a smaller scale for it. I don't know how the Americans and those top athletes would go in that. So I think they do run their own, and I know that America didn't win the last sort of world championships in the FIBA 3-on-3.
Oh, there you go. At the end of last show, Sauce, I didn't storm off, but I stormed off last week. I wasn't very happy, and now I really need to go to bed. So
you're not going to storm off. You're just going to fall asleep.
Peace out before I fall asleep.
I'm still Sauce, guys. We'll catch up next time.